All right, good evening. We're going to start the January 5th, 2021 meeting, first meeting of the year. We'll have I'll lead the invocation. We'll have a pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Wilson and then roll call. Please stand. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to ask you to watch over us as we go about our city business with our commissioners and our citizens, and to work towards doing the things we need to do for our city and our citizens. We pray that everybody had a wonderful holiday and a wonderful Christmas and New Year's, and we're starting off with a new year, which we hope and pray you will lead us into a great year this year to make up for our past troubles. We ask for your forgiveness in anything that we do that we shouldn't do, but we're asking you to watch out over our first responders and police and fire, and help us make it through the things we need to do. We ask in your heavenly name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Brinson,
Here.
Commissioner Wilson,
here.
Mayor Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Firstner,
Here.
Commissioner Oliver.
Here.
Okay. Presentations, none. We have, do we have some? Is that Representative
Yes, it is.
Thompson? You got any comments you want to make? I'll let you do it up front. See what happens when you show up there.
Well, thank you and good evening. I do want to make a request, but before I do that, I want to thank you all for your involvement and your support of the road designation for July Perry. It's something I had worked on for quite a long time. I got legislation through, and the Florida Department of Transportation to fabricate the signs, to erect the signs, and to keep them shielded until we could formally unveil them. And I timed that to coincide with the things that you all were doing here to commemorate the centennial of the death of July Perry. So I want to thank you all for your involvement. I could not be there. I was feeling extremely tired, headaches, lots of congestion, and my husband mentioned to me that those were symptoms of COVID-19. So he and I went and were tested, and we tested positive. And so we were required to quarantine. I wouldn't want to share that with you, but I
Thank you.
do want, you're very welcome. I do want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and others who were there for the unveiling and for the event at the Hortense Center. It meant a lot because I had invested so much time and was so disappointed that I couldn't be there. It was important that my youngest daughter was able to step in and to kind of guide the program, and that you all were there. And so I am here to make a request for your future involvement in an event on February 20th. And we all know that February is African American History Month. But sometimes when you say African American history, people are confused as to whether it includes all of us. And so I'm not here to ask for an event for African American History Month. I'm here to ask for your support of a unity festival. And to help you put that in perspective, if you think about whether or not what happened here in Ocoee in 1920, whether that was American history, whether that was Florida history, I think your answer is going to be yes. You all know that I've worked for a long time to get exoneration for the Groveland Four in Lake County. And was that incident, event, miscarriage of justice, Florida history? Was it American history? And when you think about it, I believe you would say yes. So to avoid confusion with regard to the event in February, I am here to ask for your support of a Unity Festival for February 20th, and I'm requesting the use of Bill Breeze Park for that particular event. And I think as Americans, all of us, if we can come together and realize our commonality and that we have a shared history, and we stop looking at our experiences in silos and look at it as a collective, moving us closer to the more perfect union that we've all been working toward for a long time. So that is the purpose of my being here. I don't have all of the logistics worked out. I do have with me someone who's working to help me figure all of that out. And together we can respond to questions if you have them. I am COVID-free, so you can relax. After I tested positive, I was required to quarantine for 14 days. And over that period of time, I missed my swearing in Tallahassee. Our Constitution requires that 14 days after election, and election was November 3rd. 14 days after, I had to be sworn in. And I could not travel to Tallahassee to be with my colleagues there. All of the official paperwork was sent to my home because I could be sworn in by a judge. And I happened to live with an appellate judge who swore me in on November 17th. After our 14 days of being quarantined, the CDC guidelines indicated that we should be tested twice after that, and we have done that, and we have both tested negative. And so on February 20th, I'm asking for your support for Unity Festival. We'll be following all of the protocols of CDC guidelines. We know we have a vaccine, but it's doubtful that enough of the population will have received the vaccine by then that we can abandon social distancing and wearing our mask and washing our hands and all of the other things. So I wanted to assure you that I'm very conscious of that. So if you have any questions for me regarding this event, I'd be glad to respond to them.
Did anybody check and see if it's open for that date? Rob, anybody know? We need to verify if that date's open.
Okay.
So you're doing it? You're putting
Yes.
it on?
Yep,
I
Mayor,
am.
just to qualify, I'm sure the park date is open,
Yeah.
but we don't know if anything, and I doubt anyone's booked the Lakeshore Center, but typically we don't do them at the same time because of the parking. Everybody coming to a park event would park in the Lakeshore Center, and there'd be no parking for them. I
Okay.
doubt that anyone has booked it, but we just need to check that box and make sure.
But my interest is in bringing us together, to bring people from different backgrounds, beliefs, et cetera, together. And so I'm hoping that we can set an example, starting here in the city of Ocoee, to bring people together in February for Unity Festival.
I do have a question for you. I know you said you didn't have all of the details and logistics of everything. You're still working on that. You probably don't know where you're going to get all your PPE yet as of yet, but I have no problem with this type of event. I think this type of event is probably well overdue, and I think I would actually embrace that type of event. I would also like to donate about 3,000 masks. I have some masks with social distancing for social distancing practices. There are packets of masks and hand sanitizers all in one packet. So I would like to donate that to the event.
Oh, that'd be most appreciative. It's similar to my past participation over the years, as a matter of fact, with Founders Day here in Ocoee. That's American history. It's Florida history. I think all of us need to come outside of our silos, our comfort zones, and to be part of a unified community. And I'm hoping that this is going to be one vehicle to bring us all together. Thank you, Commissioner, for the PPE.
I do think you'll find out that our city is pretty unified. I think if you live here and be around, you'll find that most people here are. But we welcome the chance to have something there. You know what the time and all that stuff is?
We're planning to start around 10, and I guess I didn't have the material, to end around 4, around
Somebody,
that time.
they're gonna be in charge of cleaning it up and all that, right?
Yes.
So somebody, who's gonna be that?
Would you? We'll change places here.
Okay. We just need to make sure. We had one not long ago that didn't get picked up and things done at the end, so.
Well, good evening, everyone. How you guys doing today, Mayor and Commissioners?
Hey.
Be happy to answer any questions I can at this time for you all. So we will have a cleanup crew there for the Unity Day after the festival, and to ensure we have great, make sure we definitely take pickup for ourselves behind our participants and those who attend that day.
Bathrooms, you'll have,
Say that again, sir?
you'll have portalettes and all that.
Yes, sir. We'll make sure we have porta potties just in case we have those who may utilize restroom. Yes, sir.
All right. I think we just need to make sure that date, I don't know if anything else is going on, so.
Do we know the attendance, the anticipated attendance amount? I guess I'm very concerned with COVID, which I think,
Yeah.
you know, I'm very concerned with, not with what you're doing, it's just the COVID side of it, or the social distancing and the large groups
Yes.
that are always a great concern to me.
No, that's why we're going to be following all CDC guidelines throughout this event. And, thank you so much for Commissioner Oliver to say, help donate masks. So we're going to make sure that we do our best to ensure everyone is good social distancing. This is a great day for our communities to come together.
Do you know the anticipated attendance amount? Are you
I mean,
anticipating a certain
the
amount?
participants in attendance that I know my team was put out there is 150 to 200.
Oh, okay, I thought it would be larger.
Okay.
I do have one more question for you. Since we're following CDC guidelines, is there a possibility to have one of those electronic temperature checkers coming into the event?
Yes.
Like one way in, one way out, or one way in and a different way
Definitely.
out?
So we'll make sure that we'll have appropriate access for those who are coming in, just like you see when you go to the stores and things of that nature. There's only one way in, one way out, and then also we can have the electronic temperature checkers at those coming to the festival.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions that Rob would have to have regarding these events? I mean, I'm just wondering if there's anything that they may have to,
We still have time. Actually, shortly before the meeting,
Still need to fill out the form.
I guess there was turned in a draft permit, which had a lot of the sections not filled out yet. So there's still time. We have another meeting if there's anything that I think we need to bring back, if you want to grant the request at this time. But I think we need to give them a little more time to dot their i's and cross their t's. Typically, if Representative Thompson's involved, we don't have too many issues whenever we have some type of event, so thank you for that. But we do have another meeting before then if there are any issues that we need to bring up. I think we could let them know tomorrow that there's no, bookings that are going to create an issue, and let them go and finish what they need to do in order to fill out that application completely.
Okay. Commissioner Brinson wanted to say something.
Yeah, it's, do you have a inclement weather plan as part of your submission? In case the weather turns to the worst?
Just because the weather isn't good for that day.
Right,
Yes, I have one of my team members here supposed to be adding that to the application as well.
okay. And also, because I think everyone here understands that the numbers for the COVID-19 is ramping up relatively quickly and significantly. And so I think everyone is really, really uber sensitive about having events and people gathering together. So I just want to make sure I'm voicing my concern because of COVID-19.
Yes, sir.
I think it's, just like the mayor said and others, we live in a very diverse and inclusive city already. So bringing people here, I think is just, that's a wonderful thing. However, we still have COVID-19. So whatever else that we can do to assist in making this event successful, but more importantly, safe, I think is something that needs to be brought to our attention sooner rather than later.
Yes, sir.
The event in and of itself, I don't have a problem with it, except for COVID-19.
COVID-19.
And it's, I'm slow to move on it, but I like the event.
I agree with you. The COVID is what's the concern to me, and having groups
Yes, ma'am.
together when we know that COVID's on the rise. And we know right here we're spacing people out. It's concerned us here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think we got a consensus. Everybody's okay, right? Consensus for doing that? Okay. You just need to make sure, check with the rec department with the,
Yes, sir.
you have to fill out forms anyway, so.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
all.
very much. Before we go any further, I want to read this public comment announcement. City Hall is open to the public. However, attendance inside the Ocoee Commission chambers may be limited to accommodate social distancing and is subject to the governor's executive orders. Any interested party may be heard during the public comments and public hearings portion of the meeting. In order to participate remotely, members of the public should call 407-554-7118 or email citizens@ocoee.org in advance and indicate the item you would like to address. At the appropriate time during the meeting, city staff will contact you via phone and patch you into the meeting where you can share your comments and/or questions. Comments and questions received via email will become public records and provided to the city commissioners in advance of the meeting. All right, back to the commission meeting here. All right. No presentations or proclamations. Staff reports.
I have nothing this evening, Mayor.
All right, commissioners, Commissioner Forstner,
Not at this time.
Commissioner Oliver,
I just want to say Happy New Year, and I have other comments later.
Commissioner Wilson,
Not at this time, thank you.
Commissioner Brinson.
Nothing at this time.
All right, got some announcements here. Want to recognize, I want to take a little bit here to recognize some people that participated in our diversity week. I want to also say that we're going to have a little presentation of some proclamations and stuff at the next meeting or the week after. I'll let them know. But the HRDB members who really put a lot of effort into this the week we did was Kathleen Crown, Nicole Dawkins, Lori Hart, Rhonda Anderson Robinson, and Billie Jean Daly, and Bill Maxwell. I want everybody to understand that that was a major component of that week, and they did a super job. We want to thank them very much. I'm going to try to get some handout certificates at the next meeting for them, so we'll let them all know. Also, let's see. Move on here to public comments. This is part that's not on the agenda. Anybody want to make any public comments? Do you have anybody online?
I do not have any emails or any phone calls.
We move on there?
Yep.
All right. Yes, sir, you're going to have to fill the form out. Yeah, come on up. Fill the form out.
My name is Robert Kramer. I'm from Lake Meadow Naturals here in Ocoee. I know that you've heard this before, but we're still concerned about the water that is out in that area on Lake Meadow itself. I don't know if any of you have gone past the new development that's going to happen on Clark Road, but a large portion of that area that they're going to develop is actually underwater. And so we are a little bit concerned as to where they are going to push that water to. So I just wanted to bring that up, knowing that going into Lake Meadow, my neighbor is here with me, William Volkert, and there is a retention pond to the west of Lauren Beth, and that flows into a pond that is behind our neighbor's Orange Grove. And there are actually culverts that go underneath Lauren Beth from that area, that water runs that direction. So I just wanted to, bring up again about the water, and I would like to thank Commissioner Oliver for kind of listening to us and coming out and seeing what's going on out in that area. And at the last meeting, I did watch online and heard the mayor say that he has been down that Lauren Beth, which is kind of a odd road out in that area. So I just wanted to, once again, have it in the minutes and bring it to your attention that we're still looking for a little bit of help out in that area, along with the new developments. We do have a little farm store on our farm, so the 50 or the 40 houses that would be going into the south of us, we would really like to have them there because they could possibly come and shop at our store.
Are you still in the county or are you in the city? You're not in the city, are you?
We're not in the city. Our address is Ocoee,
Yeah, I know,
but
but
we are in
that's-
Greater Orange County.
I mean, legally in the city or not in the city, so
Right.
you're in the county, right?
Right.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah, we had a lot of discussion that night on TV and stuff about the drainage, and the engineer explained a lot of stuff about that when they were here at the, I think it was last meeting, last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks
I
ago.
watched online.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, okay,
And
so,
the only concern is if the development across the way is mostly underwater now, are they going to bring dirt in there and raise that up, and then all that water is going to be pushed on all the
That-
residents that are on the west
is
side?
Mike Rumor in the back? Mike, has that project come in yet with the site plans and all?
Yes, sir, Mayor. The property, the project on Clark Road has come in and has fully approved site plans. So just the quick answer on that development is in the after effect, the land drains towards the lake. It's going to drain into the ponds and hold all of its water there. So it'll put less water in the lake in the after effect once they finish the development.
All right,
The project next near them, the 46 lots, we're going to just start the engineering process with them.
okay. So as that project moves along, you need to maybe be at the meeting or call in on the phone, and, we can discuss it when they come before us to do the project.
Okay,
So work on that.
all right.
All
Thank you
righty.
so much for your time.
Hold on before you leave, I do have a comment. Thank you, Mr. Kramer, for coming to the meeting to share your concerns with us. As you know, the last meeting, it's a project I could not approve because I just didn't have enough information about the way the water flows from that particular development. I do know that the developer did bring a three-dimensional rendering of the traffic flow. And they showed us how the traffic would flow off of Lauren Beth in that particular area based on the additional traffic in the area, which I think most of us probably disagreed. I think the mayor also said there's more traffic than that comes right down that road. So my question was, last meeting was, if you can produce a three-dimensional rendering of traffic, why can't you produce a three-dimensional rendering of how water would flow from that particular subdivision or that particular project, and as it relates to the actual retention pond and the lake itself? So again, I'm still not convinced that is going to happen. But I do have, tonight before we leave, I have a video that I'm going to show that shows a light rain in the area, and it shows that flood waters going down the road into that lake. So when we get to the commissioner's comments, I will show that video, so that way we can have a better idea of what you guys are dealing with.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson to approve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I want to pull an item.
Motion approved by, second by Commissioner Forstner.
I need to pull an item. Just a couple of questions.
All right. Which, we haven't voted on it yet, so which one do you want to pull?
So I'd like to pull item number 3 before we vote.
3?
Item number, consent agenda, item number 3.
All right, we're going to discuss item number 3. First of all, let's vote on item 1, 2, 4, 5. The motion's been made for withholding item 3 and voting on, is it okay?
Yeah, I think-
Motion,
I'll
item
make it.
1, 2, 4, 5. All right, let's, anybody have any more questions on those? Let's vote. All right, motion carries unanimous for those. Now, item 3, Commissioner.
Item number 3 is the approval of the contract for Central Florida Strategies. It's actually approval for a 1-year, $60,000 contract that we're actually going to go above the city manager's authority by $10,000 to approve it. I've read the contract, and I think the contract is okay. It looks good. I just only had a couple of questions about it. Can you explain the renewal terms of the contract?
I'm sorry, explain the renewed terms.
Can you explain the renewal terms? Because here in the contract, it states that, it has up to 4 additional 1-year renewals. So it's a 1-year contract.
Correct.
Then it has up to 4 additional 1-year renewals. Can you explain the renewal
Says 2.
terms?
Says 2 additional.
Two?
Says 2.
Okay, I must have wrote it down wrong. Okay, so 2 additional terms, but can you explain the renewal terms? Is it something that we would have to come before us
No,
in the 1 year, or do we just sign off
those
on it
would
every
be
year until
automatic.
it's done?
Those would be automatic renewals.
Okay.
So this is the same way it worked the last time we hired him. Once you approve it, we have the ability, if the commission decides to budget again for the contract, to automatically renew it administratively without it coming back to the commission. That's what that means.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the term, when you said the terms, I was looking for the word automatic in there.
Yes, sir.
I didn't see it in there, so I just need to make sure that that's what it was. It's a good contract, I've read it, so I'm okay with it. So you can put it back on there.
Thank you.
All right, I need a motion to approve item 3.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 3.
Do I hear a second?
Second?
Motion made by Commissioner Oliver, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion, item 3 passes unanimously. All right, first reading, item 6, first reading of ordinance for Campos property, 511 Whittier Avenue. Who's doing that? Mike
Yeah,
Rumor?
This is just first reading.
First
I'll go
reading.
ahead and
Read
read the title.
All right.
First is the Annexation Ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately .18 acres located approximately 700 feet north of East Silver Star Road and 600 feet south of Center Street, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding said annexation to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, providing for and authorizing the updating of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for an effective date. And the rezoning ordinance is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from Orange County R1 Single Family to City of Ocoee R1 Single Family on certain real property containing approximately .18 acres, located approximately 700 feet north of East Silver Star Road and 600 feet south of Center Street, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
All right, this will be brought back up on January the 19th at a public hearing. Anybody have any comments or want to make any comments? We can have them on that night when we have it open for public comments. All right, moving on to second reading of ordinances, none. All right, public hearing, Innovation Montessori of Okoye, Phase 3, large-scale preliminary site plan.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the preliminary, large-scale, and final site plan for Innovation Montessori. This is going to be Phase 3 of the project. The location is off of North Lakewood Avenue, and then a recently purchased and annexed-in piece off of Fuller's Cross Road. And this is existing Montessori school, K through 8. They added 2.5 acres, so they have a total 20 acres with a K through 8, and they have one class of high school. They're going through for a site plan approval to add this additional land. added additional building pad for the full high school building, and 288 additional students. Just to kind of give you an overview, this is the way the school operates today. The pre-K is in this building off North Lakewood. Then you have the entrance off of, for the kindergarten through 8th grade in this 2-story building. They have added this piece of property, which we are going to be showing you what they're proposing for the expansion of the school. And so the building pad in the future high school will be similar to the kindergarten through 8th grade building. They'll have an entrance onto Fuller's Cross Road. You'll come around and they'll have the associated parking and drive aisles. You can see a little bit better here under this plan. Going through, and a nice addition of this piece of property was it ties in to the existing, there will be an access road that ties into the existing facility. So they're proposing to construct a pad for a future 2-story high school building that'll match the existing. The early concept to keep the high schoolers and be able to grow them would be a temporary 1-year approval for these portable buildings to keep the students there. The site will have its own stormwater facility. And not much, it's adding, we've have a traffic study that includes the new trips with the new circulation. It works. We're going to have, when they open up the site, a field meeting with the Ocoee Police Department to really look at that serpentine and make sure that it's operating the best way it can. So again, it's a large scale because the building will be 2-story school. It's zoned agricultural. It has associated parking. And that is it. I'm available for any questions. And Mayor, I don't know if maybe the holidays, I don't see the applicants here today, but I can answer any questions.
I'm going to open it to the
Okay.
public. Anybody in the public have any comments on the item number 7, Innovation Montessori of Ocoee?
Mayor, I have not received any phone calls or emails.
Huh?
We did not receive any phone calls or
All right.
emails on that.
No phone calls, somebody else? That's it. We'll close it and bring it back to the dais. You need a motion for Innovation Montessori of Ocoee, Phase 3.
I'll be happy to make that motion to approve.
And I'll second it.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Brinson. Any other comments? No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All righty, thank you very much. All right, number 8, Arden Park North Phase 6, large-scale preliminary and final subdivision plan. Mr. Roomer.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, this is the final phase of the Arden Park subdivision, and you saw this property earlier in the year when we amended the PUD land use plan. The original PUD land use plan had on this tract a future school if the Orange County School Board so choose to purchase the property, or residential units. And when we received the letter from Orange County Public Schools, they were not going to purchase this site. We amended the PD plan to take out the school and just put the residential sites. And now we're coming through for the subdivision approval. It's for 67 lots. It's currently wooded. You can see in the development of Phase 4A, 4B, and here in the aerial it shows Phase 5. This will be Phase 6. The access to the subdivision will be on this internal road. It's 67 lots with open space around it. It's, again, internally accessed. It doesn't have any, it has some properties, touches to the north. And you can see there is a green buffer, which is consistent with the other phases. In between that and the property line, everything is going to be held on site. The access point to this will be via, you can see it on this page right here. You can see it shadowed in the new entrance off of the Clark Road extension. Again, this will facilitate the final phase of the site, and Arden Park will be complete. These meet the lot size requirements in the matrix for the PUD, going from 45 up to 85. The bulk of the 85s were put into the Arden Park South. These will be primarily 45s, 55s, 60s in these 67 lots. And the engineer is here if you have any questions.
All right. I'm going to open the public hearing. Does anybody in the public have any comments? Did you fill the form out? Fill the form out. Come on up.
My name's Jim Moyer. I live in Arden Park North, Phase 3. I've lived there a little less than a year. Arden Park North is moving way, way too fast, extremely fast. And if this is the last opportunity for the commission to provide any input, I think they should slow up the process. As I've commented before, there's an inadequacy of the correct amenities for teenagers. I've spoken to the divisional president office. I've spoken to Lennar in Miami. I just feel that we're not considering the long term. They're just trying to get this done, and who knows what happens after that. We're all going to be holding the fort on it. This description here says that the HOA is going to take responsibility for the roads. That's the same as saying Lennar, because Lennar runs the HOA now. In the long run, yes, they won't, but right now they do. And they're not taking in consideration the needs of the homeowners at all. That's my comment. I just feel I had to make public comments before you proceed on anything. Thank you very much. God bless.
All right. Turn that form in. Okay. Anybody else in the public have any comments?
Mayor, we have not received any emails or phone calls with regards to this.
You haven't received any?
I only have the speaker reservation form for the, for Lennar, should the commission need me to call them. But I think the engineer's here to answer any questions.
All right, so you got somebody from Lennar on there in case they have to?
For
Okay.
Beckett, yep.
All right. If they're not wanting to speak, all right, Mike,
Mayor, as part of
we'll
the...
close the public hearing and bring it back to the dais.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, just as part of the plan unit development review, I put together, because Mr. Moyer, I've talked to him, he's been here, so I kind of, just in case he spoke, and kind of show the open space that this subdivision provided, usable open space. I'm not talking, there's a lot of tracks that could be used as the HOA sees in the future. We have 8.89 acres of usable park, open space, pavilion, playground. We have a linear with facilities at 1.6 acres. We have the clubhouse complex, which is on 13 acres. I think you can appreciate, those of you that lives in subdivisions, maybe some of the older ones that don't have any open space or usable. So just to show that Arden Park, 0.79 acres in Phase 4, Lanier Park, opportunities, they're putting in facilities. This is Arden South, which again, the subdivision to the city is Arden Park. It's up to 800 houses. How that HOA facilitates, that's 3.7 acres. There's a vast amount, the largest amount of open space, usable open space, more than Weston Bay. And there's still countless acres that are wooded that are not necessarily in wetlands that could be used, sand pit for volleyball, however. And so I just want to show there is a lot of usable open space
All right.
within the Arden Park.
All right, does anybody on the commission have any comments?
I just have one comment. So it sounds like there is, what you described, close to 6 acres of usable property that the HOA, once it's turned over to the HOA, could be used for anything? Or would it have to be rezoned, or what would be the process if they want to put in a park, an additional park or additional pool or any kind of amenities that would actually address Mr. Moyer's concerns?
Potentially site plan if they're going to put down impervious, non-grass or sand structure. So if they wanted to clear out an area that was not conservation and put a field. If they wanted to put a basketball court that's impervious, it would need to be looked at to see how that water is going to drain. It would just be some minor permitting.
Okay.
Well, that's in most things I see when I've gone into these model homes. Do they not present what they're going to do, what they're putting into that project before these people buy it? I mean, I know when you go buy a car, you look at what you're buying.
Well,
Do not they have plans for showing this park, showing the area of the park? How much did you say acreage? I thought you said
It's
8, one was 8, one 6?
Yes, you've got 4 acres there, or more than 4 acres, 13 acres, another 3 acres. You've got a lot of
Yeah,
land.
so you got
And
plenty
this-
of room to do this stuff with the homeowner association, because if you got 800 homes, you're gonna have a good homeowner association.
And that's not the amount of trails. This subdivision was developed under a parkitecture theme.
Yeah.
Craig and I have had fun with that term over the years. And it's usable space you're on the trail. They have trails within the subdivision, trails around the lake. And so it's that US State Park feel is what they were going for.
Right.
If you look at the entrance, that's what it looks like. That's why we have living walls in some places. Instead of having a full wall, they put a buffer along Ocoee Road of undisturbed greenness, and they put some wall section, some fence that has vines and stuff growing in it. It's that parkitecture theme that this subdivision really has nailed to a T and been one of our more successful subdivisions.
I know that our staff, you guys are backing this, right? You're supporting
Yes,
of
oh,
what-
yes.
all of our staff, right?
Yes, sir. The
Okay.
DRC vote, yes.
All right, that's what I want to understand. I know, I think, like I said, when you buy, even where you buy in the areas, the things that need to look at it, make sure what they're going to propose. I think what's the percentage when they have to turn it over from the homeowners to the homeowners?
It's usually 95%.
95% when they turn it over? Right.
Yes. And just
Okay.
want to remind you that Lennar, under Phase 5, was going to have to design the Clark Road Extension Phase 6, construct
Yeah.
it with some nudging and some discussion. They went ahead and moved ahead on that schedule, and Clark Road is open, and Phase 6 has.
That's a nice road. I rode down it, yeah. It's nice. All right, any more comments? If not, we need a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve
Item 8, Orton Park.
Arden Park North Phase 6, large-scale preliminary,
I'll
final
second it.
subdivision plan.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Brinson for item 8, Arden Park North 6, large-scale preliminary and final subdivision plan, seconded by Commissioner Wilson. All in favor? Any more discussion? No more discussion, let's vote. All right, motion carries unanimously. All right. Regular agenda, none. Staff actions,
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
huh? None?
Nothing this evening.
All right. Comments from citizens. Once again, this is public. Anybody in the public have any comments? We'll open it. Nope. Anybody on the phone?
No emails or phone calls.
Okay. All right, we can close that. Close it. Bring it back. Comments from commissioners. All right, Commissioner Brinson.
Here we are, 2021. Welcome to 2021. We made it. God blessed us to see this year. Obviously, everyone understands that 2020 was a very trying year for the globe, not just for the nation. But I would ask that we all just be mindful. As mentioned before, early in the commission meeting, the COVID-19 numbers are going up. And so we can't let our guard down at all. I know there's some questions that's been posed to me, and I would ask that now, which is, are we going to have vaccine locations in the city. Do you know if we're going to have that, Rob?
Yeah, we've not been notified of any in the city at this point. We can probably go back around 4 months ago, and the Department of Health did ask us if we'd be willing to do that, and I told them, yes, we would be willing to do that. However, we didn't have any of the cold storage that they were required at that point. So we are open to doing that, and if they expand on their sites, they've gotten the answer from us in the past that, yes.
It's open at the hospital now. They lined up around the hospital. You can sign up at.
That Health Central?
Health Central.
Right, okay, yeah, and that's, and I think that's important, that we put that information out. I know
Yeah.
oftentimes we get a deluge of information coming our way as electeds, and sometimes it's, getting that information out to the public, sometimes could be a challenge, because some people, don't have or really go onto their internet to view this information or any social media platform. So, we got to be mindful of that. We got to be mindful that the vaccines are available. The county is doing their part. The hospital, Health Central, per the mayor's comments, is giving the vaccine out. How many doses are available? How many doses will be? The second dose will be available? I don't know, but I'm hopeful that they get their arms wrapped around this challenge. I know we're making some plans. We talked about it earlier this evening. Having events starting in February, outdoor events here. We need to be ever vigilant in keeping our guards up regarding COVID-19. Again, even though the holiday season is past, I would encourage everyone to still be mindful that there's a lot of folks out there that are less fortunate than some. And so the spirit and the season of giving should continue throughout the year. If you can, please, by all means, give. If you'd like to find some place to volunteer and/or drop off locations, give us a call, and we'll help you find somewhere to drop those off. I'm also getting more calls on the chief of police position. So, Rob, I'll let you fill those. I'll just pass those along to you as I get them, as well as the utility director. I got a couple calls on that one as well. But again, it is 2021, and we're moving. And for those who live in the North End or who travel through the North End, they know that Ocoee-Apopka Road and Fuller's Cross Road is we got some movement over there with construction. Be patient coming down that road. It's already a problem, but now there's more heavy equipment on that road. So please be mindful. That's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes, thank you. I would just like to thank all the departments that are involved on the park on Montgomery Road. I'm thrilled to see that there's movement on it, and I know it's being done by our city departments, correct, Rob? And I'm excited because it's going to be our first dog park in the city of Ocoee. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. We have, it's a park that you can walk to. It really doesn't have a lot of parking, but it's very much a community neighborhood park. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of our neighbors come in and bring their pets, their dogs. And if you get a chance, there's some areas that are cordoned off because the cement is still drying, but it's kind of nice to see the progress. So thank you to all the city departments who are involved in that. I'm excited. Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Commissioner Oliver.
Once again, Happy New Year again to citizens of Ocoee. Again, it's 2021, and we're definitely moving forward. I keep hearing that word, we're moving forward. I'm excited about 2021. Just got a couple items I need to cover for our next meeting. First, I'd like to congratulate the men of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated as they celebrate their 110 years of brotherhood and achievement in every field of human endeavor. They're celebrating 110 years of a brotherhood this year. I just happen to be a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, so congratulations to my brothers. Also, we just got to talking about Lake Meadow, and I do have a video I want to share. Is there someone in the back that can come up and bring up this video? It should be on the desktop. what you're looking at right there is, this is water that's draining into Lake Meadow. This video was sent to me by Mr. Kramer. This is after a slight rain. You see the water's going down the road. It looks like a small river. When I first looked at it, I thought he was showing me a creek or a river, but this is something that they deal with continually. This is issues that's draining off from the pond, the retention pond, that's draining off. Just a light rain caused this. So imagine we get a 100-year storm come through. I can imagine what that would look like if that happens. And eventually, one day it's going to happen. But nonetheless, I show you this video just to give you an idea of what they're dealing with over Lake Meadow, on the opposite side of Lake Meadow, and this is their concerns. These are just their concerns. Right now, I have been to a couple of those farms. I have seen 6-foot retention walls underwater, and I just think that we, as being good neighbors, I know they're in the county, and I'm working with them diligently to come up with some type of solution. So I'm going to be meeting with Commissioner Moore on the 28th to talk with the county's engineers to talk a little bit about this and see what can we do to possibly help out in this situation. Again, I believe we have to be good stewards and neighbors to our county residents, because one day you might end up in the city. You never know. So, so I'm just kind of putting it out there. Come on to Okoye. But nonetheless, I just wanted you to see that video so you get a really good idea of what they're facing, what they're dealing with. So if you get an opportunity, go out there and take a look at it. Go one day after it rains, and you'll see exactly what they're dealing with. That's all the comments I have for that.
Can I ask a question on that? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I mean, I also believe that our county residents are our neighbors, and that's not a factor. But has the county been involved at all up to this point with any of that?
Well, yeah, I've had several conversations with Commissioner Moore,
Okay.
and we've set up a meeting with their engineers to come out. We're going to meet on the 28th of January to talk about this particular issue, to see what the county can do to get them involved in this particular this situation.
I was just looking for past, if they've done anything at all.
That's the point of making that statement a while ago, sir, is to make sure the county, if you're addressing it to the county also, right? That's the point of making that.
I think you have a comment?
Well,
You got to, I'm sorry.
well, we don't, it's not open for the public right now.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask that.
Sorry about that. Maybe the mayor open it up so you can come back and
The,
speak. I need to go back to an item. I got to go back to consent agenda item number 3. When I brought that issue up and asked about the renewal part of that, I was told it was 2 years. It was up to 2 years. I wrote it down, and it was said. But I'm looking at the recommendation. The staff recommendation states that the city commission waive the asking for the city commission to waive the purchasing code and authorize the city manager to hire Central Florida Strategies for economic development and legislative affairs for 1 year at $60,000 annual and up to 4 additional 1-year renewals. That's what I originally said. But I was told that was incorrect. So either we did that or we went against the staff recommendation.
Here, what it says is authorize the city manager to execute the scope of services with Central Florida Strategies for a 3-year contract at $60,000 per year with 2 additional renewers.
So that's actually what the contract states, but there's also a recommendation that the staff made that we did not go against. We actually went against the staff recommendations. That's what I'm saying. If we're okay with that, I have no problem with it.
I don't have a
But the
problem.
staff did make a recommendation, we did not, and that's what I was reading,
Okay.
the staff recommendation.
But I'm assuming, if I may speak, I'm assuming that, I realize you say it where it says additional 3 years, but I believe we go by the contract, that we read the contract. It looks like it might have been a typo.
Yeah, I think the staff report is not correct. So it's 4 renewal terms of 1 year each.
Yes, that's correct. I just caught that when I went back over there. So to clarify
not
to
a
the
3.
commission, we are recommending a approval of this 1-year contract with up to 4 additional renewals. Now, I will remind you that you will have the opportunity to discuss this annually as part of the budgeting process because it's a 1-year contract. So each year when it comes up in the budget, you have the ability to renew or not. So you have the opportunity to discuss it in the budget. Because it is a contract to this nature and we're requesting that you waive the purchasing guidelines and recognize Central Florida Strategies as a best source vendor. In other words, they offer what we believe is a unique skill set that could not be obtained by just any one company. And this is how we've approached it, and legal has reviewed it, and the most above-board way to do it is to request it in this fashion. But that was a typo in the staff report. The city attorney can advise
Do we
you
need
on
to
how
redo
to.
it?
Yeah, I don't think we need to. I mean, we approved the contract, so just if you're comfortable with the
No,
clarification.
I'm okay with either way. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that we're all in agreement that what we're approving, as opposed to what was actually written in the actual staff report.
Yeah, Mayor, I don't think we need, I think we approved
Yeah, we
as
can.
part
I
of
mean,
the contract.
If you say no, we don't have to. Okay, all right. All right.
Okay, all right, so, good. Also, the Clark Road extension. What I've been noticing as I have been traveling up and down Clark Road quite a bit, love that road. I go out of my way just to drive it. So what I've been noticing is if you're traveling on Clark Road heading north and you get to the intersection of Claricone, Ocoee, and Clark Road, and then there's a car across the street from you heading southbound, the drivers are confused. I've seen so many near misses, near accidents, as I've been traveling northbound as well as southbound on Clark Road. Is there any way we can get that electronic sign back up to just make drivers aware that Clark Road is open, expect oncoming traffic? Please yield to oncoming traffic as needed, or put a turn signal or something, but something that we can put there.
Why don't I have
alert folks that it's
the
open.
traffic engineers look at that and see what the issue is, and we can do something if they think that, we don't want to do anything that's not typically done. We don't want to put a warning like that up where if we don't do it somewhere else, somebody comes and sues us for not
Yep.
doing it there, but doing it there. But there are legitimate corrective action we can take if what you're saying is a problem there. So why don't we have some traffic
So-
engineering
Something,
people take it?
anything
Okay.
that we can accommodate the drivers, let them know that
Yeah.
car's gonna go straight. It's gonna go straight, and you're trying to make that left turn, and it's bound to be an accident. So anything we can do to prevent a motor vehicle accident would be great,
Could
or for
do something like
fatality.
extension, open use care, turning left, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Something that's more, it's a new type of thing that you have to be careful for now, and we could do that.
I think once they get used to it, I think we'll be okay. It's just so new that a lot of the drivers, they're just not used to seeing cars come straight across the road there, so, thank you so much. All right. Also, we had a conversation with Dr. Scott Payne, myself and Rob Craig. We were on a call with him to have talk about the meeting to discuss race, diversity, and inclusion. And Florida League of Cities have gotten on board, and they have kind of they framed out how this meeting should go with us. It's just a matter of trying to figure out dates or a date that would be comfortable to this commission. And I do have some proposed dates to have such a meeting, and the Florida League of Cities is waiting on us to come back with a date for them. We're looking at January 21st, Thursday, January 21st, Thursday, January 28th. There's Thursday, February 4th, and then you have every Thursday in February. So I just kind of blotted out some Thursdays, but I just need to know what the commission thoughts were on scheduling that type of meeting.
What I'd like to see is the staff, city manager's office, send those dates out to us and let us review them when we can and cannot do those dates. I don't, till I go look at, I have some other things.
We can do that, Mayor, and we were looking at a 4-hour block, and we had talked about this, not knowing the time frame that you're all looking at. When we talked with Dr. Payne, we were kind of surprised to hear that they were booked out for quite a while.
Yeah.
And, even with COVID, they've been booking these things. So, if you could, maybe look and tell us which one of
Send us
those.
the dates.
We can do that.
May I ask, would it be better to wait until we have better numbers on COVID before you start bringing people together? I mean,
Yeah.
what's the amount of people that you're anticipating being there? We're still, again,
20
we're
less
still in
than-
COVID, and I'm just
Yeah,
very
it would
concerned
be
regarding a large
20
number.
or less. we were thinking about all the directors and assistants, and so around 20.
I
And
kind of
city
want to
commission.
wait until we see some numbers drop in COVID, because this,
Yeah.
I mean, for us to bring people together is a concern.
Well, that's very mu, I had some comments made today about some of the, we've having more employees with the COVID right now, so I'm with Commissioner Wilson. I'd like to see us push that off a little further. That's something we can do this year.
I mean, it's
That
an
doesn't have to
important-
be done this month.
It's an important topic,
Yeah.
I think, for us to have. I just don't want to see, if we have more folks that are testing positive to COVID, we don't want to bring people together ourselves in this room.
No, I don't know who it was. Somebody was telling me today that police and fire and employees were having more.
Well,
So let's don't push it.
that's,
There's 19 people in this room right now,
and
Well-
that's even can be very uncomfortable for
Yeah.
people.
but we're here. I'm sorry, but there's 19 people in this room. I just want to bring that out to you.
Well-
We hold these meetings with 19 to 20 to 30 people, every meeting that we've been open. But that's fine, I can agree with that. If we want to push it back, that's fine too. We can push it back and
All right,
come
we
up
may
with some
want to,
alternative dates.
we may want to touch base with Dr. Payne again and see if maybe we can get some proposed
Are
dates.
you dealing with him?
We had one call, we had a,
I
what was it, a
would,
Zoom-
I'd like
it was a
you
Zoom call.
and staff to deal with him.
Yeah,
and
and
set
we
it up.
we can do that, Mayor. It's just, the first step is we were trying
I know.
to settle on a date where, and then we could figure out exactly what the time was
Nobody's
going
not
to be, and
saying
then
not
get
to do it.
a
I'm just
proposed
saying
agenda and all
It needs
that.
to go through your office, through their staff, and
Yeah,
bring it to
and the
us.
only thing we did was, when we discussed what the commission had discussed at the meeting when we had talked about that,
Yeah.
they said that they could do that, and as I stated, we were kind of surprised to see that. They were kind of booked out a little ways already, so,
Booked out what dates
whatever
are
the
we
commission
talking?
would like us to do,
Well-
we can do it through my office, certainly.
Let's look at some later dates, and like she said, it's Commissioner Wilson, and then set it
Yeah.
up and give us the dates ahead of time.
Are they talking like February, March? I mean, is that what they're
Well,
booking
the dates they
anyways?
gave us, they were booked fairly, they didn't have anything in January. They were booked pretty much in February, except those 4 days, like one day a week, I believe it was a Thursday. So, I mean, if you really want to date and stick with it, you might want to pick something in March, or, depending on how far out you want to go.
Give-
I think each month we wait, the month
Well, give us
fills
the
up, and then we
dates
have to
he's
go
open.
another month after that.
I'm
Give
just-
us the dates he's open in March, April, May.
I think you're going to see pretty open in March and April.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking, I thought you were talking January.
Yeah, he
I thought
said
that's what
January.
you were talking,
No,
January.
Those were the
I just
first
gave those
dates
dates just to
available.
kind of give you an idea. It's on a
Okay.
Thursday.
I just wanted to give it at least a month. I thought we
Yeah.
should, because we're seeing those numbers, and it's just a concern. I understand there's 19 people in here, but
Spread out pretty good.
it is spread out, but it's just the aspect that if it's another month, we probably might see some changes in the COVID
All right.
numbers.
So, staff, set up the dates.
So why don't we have him give some tentative dates in March? Would you be comfortable? One thing I'd like to do, if we're going to come up with tentative dates and have you all agree, if it's something we feel more comfortable sticking with in March, then
Yeah.
we can pick that date. They won't book
Let's
anything
hope some
else.
of that COVID
and-
shots are helping. with
And
that.
the vaccine will be much more
Yeah.
widely out there by
Yeah.
that time, too.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. So you'll follow up with Dr. Payne? Okay, perfect. All right, over the past 3 years, from 2018, we have watched the city grow. The city's been growing by leaps and bounds. We've actually got our new city halls on the way. We're looking at infrastructure. Fuller's Crossing is on the way. We're looking at lights being put in different places, sidewalks, lighting, just so many different programs that has gone on in the past 3 years. We've had our youth programs getting started. We have summer job programs for the first time. We had our youth working in City Hall. We've got a lot of work done in the past 3 years. We've also given out scholarships to some of our youth as well. So I say all that to say this, that we have an opportunity right now. As citizens of Ocoee, you have an opportunity to keep this city moving forward. You have an opportunity to keep the city moving in a direction that you want to move in. You got an opportunity to make sure that there's people, there's folks that are looking out for your best interests. And so I say that to say this, March 9th, you have an opportunity to vote. We have a historical records of low voter turnouts. In 2015, we had voter turnouts of about 6%. In my district alone, in District 4, there's about a little over 11,000 registered voters. And you look at about 6% that came out in 2015. In 18, it was increased to 8%. Now, what we're looking at now is in 2021, we want to increase those numbers. We want people to get out and vote. There is an election going on March 9th, and we want you to get out and vote. And our goal is to increase that number by 4%. So we want to go from 8% to 12%. I think that'll be historical for the city of Ocoee, and we have the opportunity to change those numbers and make sure that we increase our voter turnouts in the city. Also, just want to keep us moving forward. And again, thank you for your time, and Happy New Year to you. God bless, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Commissioner First.
All right. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope everybody stayed healthy. COVID-19 is still with us. We have to remain aware of that and maintain the safeguards. But I urge all of you to go out and attempt to get the vaccine, sign up for the vaccine. My wife and I went out to sign up for it, and we just missed the cutoff. They had gone through 45,000 doses in a very short period of time, and they put us on a waiting list. We have no idea what that means. So regardless, if they have it, that's fine, go out and get it. If they don't, get yourself on a waiting list so that when they do have ample supplies, you'll be notified and you can go get it. Hopefully, it'll put this COVID-19 behind us, and we won't have to suffer too long through 2021 like we did in 2020. That's all.
All right. I apologize for the last meeting. I was supposed to, we raised extra $20,000, and I forgot to bring it up. The transfer of funds for the outstanding invoices for donation to High Point Church, $2,500. Mr. Bracewell, $2,500, and there's a $500 for trophies. So we need I'm gonna get a motion. Like I said, we raised the extra $20,000 to cover this. For I forgot, and boy, I got caught heck about that too.
What's it for? I'm sorry.
It's for the High Point Church.
Okay.
Donation to them, and Allie Bracewell was the MC, and the $500's for trophies.
Oh, this is
Not
from,
trophies, but plaques.
okay,
Not trophies.
let's step back if you don't mind.
It's
Is this-
diversity.
Thank you. That's what I was
Diversity. That's
trying.
what I said, the diversity.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah. So I was supposed to do that at the last one. That's why I went out and raised the extra 20,000. So we're still gonna end up with money in that account. So this is, I just need to you can do it consent or we can vote on it. We need to write these out. I should have already done it, but I didn't. So,
Can I get clarification? Are we clarifying that there's 20,000 put in that account?
So.
It was put into the
So I
city
can clarify. So the mayor did go out and he was able to raise, and we got a $20,000 donation. So what I verified with finance, there's leftover funds from that $20,000 donation to cover the expenditures he's speaking of, which is, I believe, $5,500, Mayor, is that correct?
it comes to $5,500.
Yeah. So this wouldn't be coming out of those contingency dollars. This would be coming out of that specific donation dollars that were.
City Center.
That were
Do we have to
donated
make,
to
we
the
have to
city.
make motions for that when it comes out of a donation?
Rob just said bring it up
Okay, I didn't thought
just
we,
to make.
Well, it's coming out of donation, but you all have to authorize. It's not under any department director or anything. So, I mean, when people if somebody could donate us $1,000, but that doesn't give us the authority, it's not been expenditured on the budget. So that's why it would come.
Next
What's the
time we can
$5,500 for again?
And Mayor, can you explain the $5,500?
What's the $5,500 for?
That's what I just said. Donation to High Point Church, donation to Allie Bracewell, the MC they hired, and then the 500 for plaques.
So
To finish-
out of
Plaques
55,
are finishing up for the
so out of the
finish up the-
5,500.
relatives, the relatives.
I believe it was 2,500, 2,500, and 500.
So, okay, that's the breakdown.
Yeah.
2,500 for
Correct.
each, 25, 25, 500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comes to
Right.
55.
Right, and it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't come out of contingency. It
That's
would come
gotta
out
be
of
the
that
last of the plaques. too.
donation that was designated for
Yeah,
that event.
That's the last of the plaques.
I'll be happy to make that motion to approve that, if that's what you need.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Wilson. There's a second.
A second.
Seconded by Commissioner First. All right, all in favor? All right, motion carries. I wish somebody would see if we can expedite that. I was supposed to do that back in 1st of December. Rob? Okay, all right. Also, I wanted to bring up something, and Craig and Mike Rumor, I don't know if he's still here. I heard the message about some development in your district over on Clark Road, and they're wanting to build warehouses there by you. I didn't think Commissioner Wilson would too much want that.
We've had.
But
yeah, Mike-
I would like us to see if we can go to address something, to Mike or Craig, about changing that where there's no way they can come up and put that commercial development in that area.
Did you say Clark Road, Mayor?
Industrial, light industrial.
Did you say Clark Road?
Clark Road and White Road, they wanted to put in light industrial warehouses. And that is not a place to put that.
So Mike, was there a submittal for that, or have they come in and had some type of preliminary discussions with you at this point?
Trying to see if how staff's comfort on that before they did a pre-application meeting before they submit an actual application. And so what the proposal is,
Tell them, one quick caveat to that is, we have an ordinance that says no heavy trucks, no trucks on that road. So that would stop it there too, but we just want to make sure nothing like that happens.
so part of the West Oaks Mall plan unit development in DRI, Clark Road split the DRI, you have West Oaks Mall on the east side. On the west side's property called Lake Lotta. And Lake Lotta PUD has a plan unit development approval for sort of a strip of land along White Road and then a strip running south along the Hammocks residential. The rest of the property, all commercial, to be more out parcels and development of the mall's development plan. And as we've seen, the property is still vacant. And I've had several people look at it, and we had a proposed apartment and townhome, I say proposed, really serious about applying, and they backed out. And I have one now that is really looking hard and trying to figure out a way. They're proposing about 550,000 square foot of that tilt wall light industrial like we have. The property's just north of Jacob Nathan, where you have the GTE, or the old GTE Bank, now the funeral home, and it runs all the way up to White Road. The first phase would be about 550,000 square feet of that dock height use. And, their thought is Clark Road is a 4-lane divided arterial. You've got State Road 50.
Mike,
We do
under the
have a
current,
provision,
under the current PUD, what kind of commercial could go in there right now? Big box?
Yes, that's what's permitted. They'd have to do a land use change from commercial and residential to light industrial.
Yep. Because that started when we put the mall in back in the years prior, when we did the mall. There was supposed to be another $1,000,000 or $1,200,000 come in on that side to go with the mall, with the commercial type projects. Not this, not that. There's no way we can handle semis and trucks on Clark Road.
Yeah, the difficulty with this type of use is the buildings are nice, but they could all be, it could all be logistics. It could be lots and lots of semis, lots and lots of.
Day and night.
And the commission passed a resolution limiting commercial trucks on Clark Road, the weight and the type of truck. And so that's kind of held it at bay. They have some plans to maybe do a workaround with that, and it could come in any day. So that's sort of the update on that.
Well, I'd like to know what we can do, if everybody's in favor of it, what we can do not to
Would it
have
be an
that.
amendment to the PUD, or has the amendment been done at this point?
They haven't submitted. It would be amendment to the PD and the land use change.
So if they request it, we'd have to bring it forward to you all, and you could just vote it down, the amendment to the
Yes.
PUD for the
It
light
has to go to the
industrial.
P and Z first, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it would.
okay.
Yeah, it does.
Am I allowed to give my
I just want
opinions?
everybody to understand what's coming with that.
Is that in the CRA overlay?
No, the CRA ends right at Matthew Paris, which is down below Jacob Nathan, so it is not in the CRA.
So, maybe if you, just the discussion of it might make them think twice about submitting. I don't know.
I'm
Let me
asking,
do represent that they gave me a plan, and I told them, once you give me the plan, it's public record, but I did want to kind of just show and get some feeling, and that helped to bring to attention the weight limitation of Clark Road.
Right.
So I do have a plan. I can send you at some time, but if it does come up, if they do apply, then we've got to stop communications and all that, and Scott can.
All right.
We stop, am I allowed to say something, or we have to stop communication?
No, there's not an application now.
You can
There's-
say something.
Okay, so I'm assuming, okay, yes, he's giving me the word.
Be nice.
I'm gonna be nice. You know, Clark, it is in my district. Clark Road is a major thoroughfare coming as an entrance to the city. That's a concern to me. I'm concerned about trucks being there all day, all night. And especially as Clark Road, semis are not allowed on that road. We have a lot of, I will tell you that in District 2, there's a lot of concerns coming from the commissioner and from neighbors, who may know and may not know about it. It's not an appropriate venue to have a light industrial on Clark Road. I believe that we should keep industrial, or light industrial in a section in the Ocoee. We have that right over here on McGuire, and that's where you have trucks coming in and out, and I think that's very important for us to do proper planning. We've always talked about smart planning, smart growth in the city of Ocoee. I think we need to continue that, and that's a great concern to me, that that's not smart growth. So I'll be watching this and being very concerned about it, and if you tell me when we can't talk about it up here, I'll abide by that, but it's just I can talk at this point, and I have a lot of concerns about that there.
All right. Let me finish up here. Also, I want to read off the other part of the announcements I didn't do a while ago. Pursuant to Florida election laws, Chapter 100, Section 100-021, and Ocoee Code of Ordinances, Section 5-13, notice is hereby given by the City of Ocoee, Florida, that an election will be held Tuesday, March the 9th, 2021, in the City of Ocoee for the purpose of electing 2 city commissioners for 4-year terms, 1 commissioner from District 2 and 1 commissioner from District 4. Candidates for these offices must qualify by filling qualifying papers and fees with the city clerk during regular office hours, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., beginning at noon on Thursday, January 14, 2021, and ending at noon Friday, January 22nd, 2021 at City Hall, 150 North Lakeshore, Ocoee, Florida. The fee for qualifying for the office of commissioner is $90. I just want to make sure everybody understands, and I know Rob has said this plenty of times, anybody signs up running for office, feel free to call City Hall, and you're able to meet with anybody that you want to meet with in the City Hall, that even city manager, anybody, finance, anybody. So you're welcome to come in and talk about what's going on in the city, seeing what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, you're welcome to come find out and ask questions. Also, come to the meetings. So that's one of the ways to do it. It's always, seems to me, that in election times, our city, most of them are, I don't know if it's 11,000 or not, I know most of them are in that 8,000 and 9,000 range. But in the last few elections, unless it's a presidential election, most elections are right in that 6 to 8%. I don't know why, what that is, but it is, and it's usually 6 to 8%, which is to me, that's not a good thing. I mean, you want the vote. I know when I got 18 or 21, whatever it was, I can't remember, it's been so long, I want to vote. So we want people to vote. Maybe put it on our TV, run it on our TV, you know, the dates, places where we're going to have it open for voting. If we know already, which I think we do, put it on the TV where it's going to be at, the vote times, the dates, and stuff where people can come in and vote. Also, I think, like I said, it's a shame when you have 8,500, 9,000 voters and you have 500 or 600 people vote. It's not, and then it's not a good thing. So we need to see if we can push it somehow or another through us as representatives of the city of Ocoee to get people out to vote, which I think that's one of the things we need to extra push to get people to vote. So once again, you can sign up on, I think it goes through the 22nd, really, though, not the 21st, isn't it?
22nd.
It goes through the 22nd. This said, yeah, January 22nd because of the weekend. So I want to thank everybody. The holidays were great. It was a little hectic with some of my family. We had some of the COVID tested positive, so during the holidays, so that was kind of a mess up for Christmas. But I think we got through pretty safe. We want to let everybody know that police chief, I guess, is retiring the end of the month. We're gonna have a thing on that. And Rob, you're the one handling the police chief thing, I hope, right?
That's correct.
You're the one that doing that, not us, so that's a good thing. So let's, I know Charlie will probably come to the next meeting, I guess.
Yeah, I would anticipate he'll probably be here. He'll be invited
Yeah.
to the next meeting.
All right.
And,
So,
and
wanna
we'll give you
thank
some details. We're
Uh-huh.
going to have a little going away thing for him
Okay.
over at Lake Shore. I believe it's the 21st, but I'll give you more information on that.
It's 12 months away, 11 months and 2 weeks, but we need to make sure the Christmas light thing is solved this year.
It'll be on.
So.
We're going to start, around July to make
Bah
sure.
humbug if we don't, you know. And, so we want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, and let's hope this is a Happy New Year. All right. Meeting adjourned.